Hawaii, paradise on earth, where sunsets melt into the ocean, laughter drifts through the palms, and the air itself feels alive. It's the healthiest, happiest state in America, home to the lowest mortality rate in the nation. People here live longer, breathe easier, and die slower. But for Edison, paradise offered no protection. He was born on the same golden sun, raised where death rarely lingers, yet somehow it wouldn't stop chasing him, no matter where he ran. From the beaches of Oahu to the back streets of New York, death followed, relentless, precise, patient, because even in the safest place in America, some people are marked, and Edison was one of them. He's been dancing with death his whole life, and every single time, against all odds, he walks away. This is the story of Edison, the man with 9 lives. Edison had just turned 27. He was living in Honolulu, Hawaii, chasing small dreams and big opportunities. On that Tuesday morning, he took the subway downtown, heading for the World Trade Center, Lower Manhattan, New York City. Not for business, not for work. He was going there for something far simpler. To pick up a few gifts his uncle had set aside in his small import store inside the North Tower. But at 8:46 a.m., everything changed. The first plane hit. The entire building shuddered. Glass shattered. Smoke filled the corridors. Panic spread like fire. Edison froze, staring at the trembling walls around him. He should have died right there. But somehow, his path led him down a service stairwell. Just before collapsing to rubble, he stumbled into the streets covered in ash, his ears ringing, his mind numb. Thousands perished that day. But Edison? He walked away. Weeks later, when the world was still mourning, Edison borrowed a friend's car to drive across the George Washington Bridge. It was raining, not a soft drizzle, a violent downpour. The kind of storm where the wipers can't keep up, and the road disappears beneath a curtain of water. He pressed harder on the wheel, but the tires betrayed him. The car skidded, flipped, and slammed into a guardrail. Glass cut into his skin. Metal crushed against his side. Sparks hissed in the rain. He smelled gasoline. Everyone who saw the wreck swore nobody could crawl out alive. But minutes later, Edison staggered onto the road, bruised, bloody, shaking, alive. It was escape number 2. By 2003, Edison had finally found work. A simple store job in Brooklyn. Modest pay, long hours, but he was grateful. One night, just before closing, 3 armed robbers stormed in. Masks on, guns out, the customers screamed. When the smoke cleared, everyone thought Edison was gone. But when the paramedics arrived, they found something shocking. The bullet had grazed him, just inches from his heart. A fraction of an inch saved his life. That was escape number 3. By 2005, Edison moved into a small, simple apartment complex in the Bronx. A fresh start, he thought. But late one night while on the bed, flames erupted in the hallway. A faulty wire sparked an inferno that spread in seconds. The building turned into a burning coffin. People screamed from windows. The air filled with black smoke. Edison woke up choking, the heat blistering his skin. The stairway collapsed behind him. The exit was gone. He wrapped himself in a wet blanket and smashed through a window. With nothing but instinct, he leapt 3 stories down onto a parked car below. The impact shattered glass, tore his muscles, and left him gasping in pain. But he was alive. Another close call. Another impossible escape. By 2007, Edison thought maybe his bad luck had run out. He found a better job, met new friends, even began to believe his life was stabilizing. But sometimes death doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the ones closest to you. One night, a friend invited him out. Dinner, drinks, laughter. Edison felt safe. Hours later, he collapsed. His stomach twisted, his vision blurred, his pulse slowed to nothing. If his neighbor hadn't found him, if the ambulance hadn't arrived in time, Edison wouldn't have made it. At the hospital, Doctors pumped his stomach and revealed the truth. Traces of poison in his blood. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't bad luck. This was betrayal. And Edison, for the 5th time, cheated death. 5 escapes, 5 close calls, and each one more terrifying than the last. But Edison's story isn't finished, because death doesn't like to be mocked. It always comes back harder. And for Edison, there were 4 more trials waiting in the shadows, because a man can only cheat death so many times before death cheats back. He was 27 when it began. Now, in his mid-30s, Edison carried scars most men would never recover from. But death wasn't finished. It still had 4 more games to play. It was a cold night in 2009. Edison, 35 years old, had just left a late shift at work. The streets were slick with rain. He never noticed a shadow trailing him until it was too late. A man lunged from the darkness. A knife flashed under the streetlight. Edison felt the blade tear through his jacket, slicing across his ribs. He stumbled, bleeding, his vision narrowing. The attacker pressed harder, whispering threats. Someone had paid him to finish the job. But luck or fate intervened again. Headlights suddenly swept the alley. A car horn blared. The attacker fled into the night. Edison collapsed against the wall, clutching his side. The wound was deep but not fatal. He was rushed to the hospital. Some days later, he recovered. For the 6th time, Edison cheated death. 2 years later, in 2011, Edison was 37. He boarded a crowded Manhattan subway, headphones in, eyes tired from a long week. Halfway through the ride, an abandoned bag under a seat began to smoke. Seconds later, the train car filled with fire and chaos. People trampled each other to escape. The blast tore metal apart like paper. Bodies lay broken on the ground. Edison should have been among them. But here's the twist. He had changed seats just moments before the explosion. The man beside him died instantly. Edison was thrown against the pole, bruised and burned, but alive. By nothing more than chance. He survived again. Escape number 7. By 2014, Edison was 40. He had begun to suspect a pattern, that someone or something wanted him gone. One night, driving home along the FDR Drive, headlights blazed in his mirror. A black SUV swerved dangerously close. Then, impact. Edison's car spun across 3 lanes. Horns blared. Tires screeched. The SUV rammed him again, forcing him toward the guardrail and the river below. At the last second, Edison yanked the wheel. His car flipped, rolled, and landed upside down in the middle of the highway. The SUV sped off into the darkness. Paramedics later said the crash should have killed him instantly. But somehow, Edison crawled out, covered in glass, bones fractured but alive. Escape number 8. By 2017, Edison was 43 and exhausted from running. He booked a flight for a short business trip, Newark to Chicago, to spend time with his family. But at the last minute, a client delayed the meeting. Edison canceled his ticket and rescheduled. Hours later, breaking news lit up the screens. That very flight never made it. Mechanical failure. A crash on takeoff. No survivors. Edison should have been there. His name was on the passenger list. But by sheer coincidence, he wasn't. That was the 9th and perhaps the most chilling escape of all. 9 times. 9 escapes. 9 lives. But the question isn't just how he survived. It's why. Was it fate? Luck? A guardian angel? Or something far darker? Something that refuses to let him die until the story is complete. Edison's 9 escapes are more than miracles. They're warnings. Because when a man cheats death this many times, death doesn't just wait. It plans. And the next time it comes for Edison, it may not miss. If Edison's story shook you, subscribe now to 9 Life Stories. Because out there are others like him. People who refuse to die. People whose lives are stranger than fiction. And their stories are waiting to be told.